Hello everyone, my name is Lisa Crane and I'm the Western Americana Manuscripts Librarian in Special Collections of the Claremont College's library. I'm pleased to be able to introduce you all to our Digitizing Southern California Water Resources project, also known as #ClearWater. Water. 7 institutions digitized a critical mass of regional archives on the development, management, and exploitation of water in Southern California and the Western United States. Of the 26 collections we digitized, 5 are from water engineers, 8 are regional water company records, and 13 are collections of local, regional, county, state, and federal agencies. The project collaborators, all located in Southern California, are the A.K. Smiley Public Library in Redlands, the Ontario City Library, the Upland Public Library, the California State University Northridge Oviatt Library, California State University San Bernardino's Water Resources Institute, the National Archives at Riverside, and the Claremont College's library. In forming this collaboration, we paid particular attention to those collections that were split between our repositories, as well as complementary collections. By digitizing these collections from disparate locations and making them freely available online, we sought to alleviate the researcher's burden to locate and access these materials. The Claremont area and its surrounds have long had an important relationship to water. For example, Claremont is located on a large aquifer that has been a source of water since Native Americans lived in the area. And the city of Ontario was one of the few cities in Southern California to grant water rights to landowners when they purchased a parcel in the booming city of the 1880s. Our region's experiences with water in the past and the recent impact of climate change have direct implications for many other regions on a global scale. This project seeks to connect to regional, national, and international water information networks through metadata, allowing scholars in disparate locations to engage in digital research addressing past, current, and emerging global questions. Importantly, digitization democratizes the exchange of information and breaks down disciplinary and geographic barriers to help solve problems that demand interdisciplinary and cross-cultural solutions. To manage such a large project, the Claremont College's library hired a digital project manager to coordinate scanning and metadata standards with our partners. 3 of us, CSU Northridge, CSU San Bernardino, and the Claremont College's library, each hired our own students to digitize materials and create metadata. Because the National Archives at Riverside, as a federal agency, could not hire grant-funded staff, and the 3 municipal libraries lacked equipment and on-staff expertise, Claremont's digital project manager hired, trained, and supervised Claremont College's students to work on the collections of these 4 partners, as well as Claremont's own collections. Further, determined to provide a more enriching employment experience for the project students, the Claremont College's library incorporated many of the programmatic elements of the library's Claremont Center for Engagement with Primary Sources, or CSEPS program. Project students wrote a weekly progress report, wrote a weekly blog post for the CSEPS blog Out of the Box, and made culminating presentations to library staff, project partners, and others about their clear water experiences. You can read our students' own words at cceps-blog.library.claremont.edu. At the conclusion of the 3-year project, we've digitized over 137,700 pages and images, resulting in more than 12,800 digital objects created, and to date we've had over 47,000 page views. The metadata is Creative Commons CC0 public domain compliant and can be used without permission. Through the newly created project portal, the Western Water Archives, found online at www.westernwaterarchives.org, scholars now have access to a rich collection of maps, technical reports, financial documents, photographs, correspondence, and printed ephemera. Collections physically dispersed among our partner repositories are now virtually united. 2 subsequent new projects build on our Digitizing Hidden Special Collections project. In 2019, the Ontario Museum of History and Art, a sibling department of Ontario City Library, was awarded a 3-year IMLS grant to develop a permanent exhibit titled Built on Water, Ontario and Inland Southern California, which will draw from the Western Water Archives as well as the museum's collections. More recently, in January 2020, a team of Claremont faculty and library staff received a grant funded by the Collections as Data initiative. The library's team is currently assessing the Western Water archives in order to identify data-rich materials and improve their accessibility and usefulness to scholars doing computational research. We wish to thank CLIR for their support of this project.